May I introduce to all our readers Charlie Skelton, famous journalist and Bilderberg reporter for The Guardian. Welcome, Charlie, to the Telfs and the Bilderberg 2015. We are standing in front of the Interalpen Hotel. You see it in the background. Charlie, we were told that at 12 o'clock there will be a demonstration here, which has been allowed. But as you can see, I'll just turn the camera around. It's all empty. We are the only ones here. We wanted actually to report about this demonstration. What do you say to that?
Well, it seems like they've allowed the demonstration, but they haven't really let people come to it. So it's a kind of a little bit of a logical trick they've played on everyone. Of course you can demonstrate there if you can actually get to the spot. No one's allowed here.
Yes.
So I guess it's up to us to fashion some placards from some trees, and I don't know.
Isn't it funny that we as journalists are here wanting to report, but there's nobody here? So we are just standing all by ourselves.
I know. Well, the thing that should be here, never mind the fact that there should be a demonstration here, there should be a press centre here.
Yeah.
That's what should be here.
Yeah.
There should be some portaloos over here for people. There should be a nice press centre with a laser printer printing lanyards for people that they've accredited. There should be some government paid officials here. There's enough government paid officials driving around in their minivans, but they can't seem to afford an accreditation centre.
Now you were at the G7, right? And you experienced how the journalists were treated there.
Look, sorry, the little friend here.
Yeah. So there are some limousines coming. Can you tell me what is your experience? How was your experience at the G7? You were accredited there and reported for The Guardian. And how does it compare now that you are 2 days here in Telfs?
Well, it is from the sublime to the ridiculous, I think, is the expression. It was the experience in Garmisch, where at the G7, was so extraordinary. I was so pampered, and everything was so laid on. There was information desks, workstations, hundreds and hundreds of workstations. They filled an entire ice rink stadium, the Olympic ice rink stadium, with workstations, with all the possible equipment we could need. So we just let this military van pass. So you see they can afford to pay for the military, but not a loo for the journalists. So anyway, yes, it was amazing, and if anything, it was disconcerting how easy it was to be there and how pampered you felt. And so
I heard that they even had a huge buffet.
Oh my God, the buffet was incredible. I would pace the day so I could have 3 or 4 dinners. I mean, it was amazing. I mean,
and all paid by the German government.
Absolutely, all of it. Yeah, Bavarian specialties here. A cocktail bar here, people lined up to serve you drink. Would you like a beer or a wine? Or serving staff in their lederhosen, amazingly attentive waiting staff, just for the journalists. So we were treated like royalty.
Right.
You know, but once the actual royalty turns up here, all of the good treatment melts away, and we're left to our own devices.
Right. So we have experienced a lot of controls, a lot of checking of identities, half an hour waiting at the checkpoints and things like that. So that's a huge difference how journalists are treated here compared to Garmisch.
Yeah. I mean, funnily enough, when I went to Garmisch, I went through a police checkpoint in about a minute or less when I went in, and I've spent far longer here at checkpoints, and there I just went through, got accredited. You know, there was a huge number of police there, but at least they treated journalists. They understood and respected the fact that journalists were there. I mean, there's an argument to be said for that they were controlling the journalists in an incredible fashion and spending a lot of money making sure that the right stories got reported. But that's a whole other question. At least I wasn't constantly being stopped and asked who I was.
So at the G7, the official press department of the German government does everything to make the journalists happy.
They said, I spoke to the guy, he said, to a government spokesman, he said, you know, our job is to make it easy and comfortable for journalists to do their job. And I mean, the job for journalists there was to eat as much food as they could.
Now, you asked some of your colleagues at the G7 why aren't you coming to Bilderberg? And they said something about, but there is that nobody does anything for us. We get no press releases, nothing. And so does that mean they only come where they are pampered and where they get all the information?
Well, I mean, not always, but it certainly sounds like it. I mean, you know, if you were a journalist, do you go to somewhere where you've got, you know, an amazing free goulash buffet, or do you go somewhere where it's really hard for you? I mean, it was the government was facilitating journalism there, or whatever you'd call it, journalism or journalism or whatever it was. But they were facilitating it there, and now they are just about permitting it, but barely. You know.
Exactly.
It's a very, very, very different.
So that means for me that the journalists are not actually doing their real job of looking for stories or searching for information unless it's presented on a tablet.
Yeah, and what I found really irritating was that everyone took it so seriously.
Yeah.
Everyone at the G7 press centre was walking around, you know, with their with their clipboards and their stories. The stories were just being fed down the mountain from the pooled footage and given to them, so they could then write around it. But they were like, this is some important stuff going on, and it was no, it wasn't. It was a bit of theatre that they were all participating in. So I was annoyed at journalists for participating in what was quite evidently theatre, and rather than anything close to reality. I mean, this is a bit rubbish, us standing here in an empty car park, but at least we're trying. You know, it's a little bit. We've had to walk 10 minutes up a hill. You know, we've had to do something. You know. So anyway, I don't know.
So we might as well wrap it up, because there's nothing here for us to do, and it's a pity, because we would have liked to report about if there would have been a demonstration here.
Look, if you stick me €50, I'll throw a pebble at a police car.
Okay, thanks, Charlie. So, das war's, meine lieben Freunde. Es sollte eine Demonstration hier sein, aber wir sind hier, aber es findet nichts statt. Und der Parkplatz ist leer, wie ihr seht. Also, das ist nicht zu fassen. Also, tomorrow is the big day. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow will be the day of arrival, and we will be back again here.
I guess, yeah. But hopefully, there may not be any more journalists, but there'll certainly be some more bigwigs.
Right. Thank you very much, Charlie.
Thank you.
So, das war's für heute. Wir werden schauen, ob wir noch andere Geschichten für euch machen können. Danke, tschüss.